Video game controllers! Everyone has a favorite, everyone has one that they despise, but for me, there's one controller that took away my family back in 1988 with the Chevrolet C1500. I will make you suffer. And some of them look like abominations, like, what the piss is this? Why does this exist? Now, this list is going to be solely focused on first-party or original equipment manufacturer controllers, so no Mad Cats, no GameCube keyboard controller, because why? No PS3 Boomerang, because number one, that never released, and number two, it just looks like a neutered Nintendo 64 controller. And unfortunately for everybody, no Power Glove. Look, it was technically licensed by Nintendo, but they weren't the ones who actually made it. Instead, it was Abrams/Gentile Entertainment who created it. Specifically, Samuel Cooper Davis. Hope you're doing well. You deserve it, King. So, technically, it shouldn't, be on this list. But with that said, just know if it was, I put it in the B tier. For banging. Also, shout out to MiniMan123 for creating this list. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you get a good nap, and you deserve it. Also, if there's any controllers missing, just know that they weren't important enough to remember. I looked over this list like 3 times, and I just couldn't think of anything. And if anything was, misremembered, just yell at me. And by yell at me, just let me know in the comments. Please don't yell. I'll think about it at 3 in the morning and just suffer. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this. Appreciate you all. Let's get to the tier list. Also, if you want to like and subscribe, that'd be great too. Appreciate you. Bye. Starting off with the Atari 2600, let's be honest. This is the classic controller. This is just having an arcade stick at your house. I like the big button at the top. I have one of these actually down in my room somewhere, but it's very dirty. Won't lie, I had it sitting in a box for way too long. Haven't put it anywhere, not bringing it to show it because you all would judge me, and also I would judge myself. It's easy, it's something that can be improved upon. I'm gonna put it in B tier just because it's a classic. It's like the foundation for a lot of controllers, and I think, you're supposed to improve upon that, especially with your second controller, which they did not do with the Atari 5200. You see this thing? I owned like 3 of these as a kid, and none of them worked. Not once did it ever work for more than like 3 days. Hated this thing. It got to the point where my dad actually got rid of this thing entirely. I'm gonna put you an F because I hate you. The Atari 7800, not sure how I feel about this. I like the 2 buttons. The circle is fine, I guess. That little line right there, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just want to rip it. Reminds me of a Pop-Tart I just want to break in half. I don't like the look of it, to be honest. It's just kind of, It's just that line. The line's doing something for me. I'll put you in D tier. You're not that great, but I just... the tendency to rip you, it's there. I like that. Okay, this is just a gas pedal for a car. It reminds me of a gas pedal, yes. I like this. I like the idea of the big red button also on the side that you can just like tap like that. I like that. That's actually a good idea. I didn't get this one because, like I said, my dad got rid of the 5200 stuff, so we just never even touched Atari after that. And by ever after that, I'm lying because I'm just gonna put you in D, but I'll put you there because I'm lying. You wanna know why I'm lying? Because I played the Atari Jaguar and I hated this thing. This controller I despise so much as a kid. I couldn't wrap my head around it, especially with all like the little numbers. I didn't like this thing, especially as like, again, I'm a kid, I'm a dumb kid. I don't know how this works, but I know it didn't work well. Maybe I'm stupid as an adult, but as a kid, I'm honest. And as honestly as I can be, I hated this thing. Awful. Awful controller. And it reminds me of a toaster. Like, that is the front of a toaster. No, not a fan. Speaking of toasters, this kind of looks like one. I'm not gonna lie. Magnavox Odyssey. Hold on. What are you looking like? Magnavox Odyssey controller. First one. Images, baby. What? That tab is for English or horizontal and vertical. I'm not gonna lie, just kind of like, it's not good. It's not good. It's very bad. However, it reminds me of a toaster, so I'm gonna give low D. Not F. But just because it reminds me of a toaster, that alone makes it there. Magnavox Odyssey 2 looks actually better. Let's look at, hold on. Let's go to number 2. This is actually much better. I like the big button. If you have a big red button, I'm all for it. This actually reminds me of like a cookie cutter that you'd make for Christmas cookies. This actually doesn't look too bad, I'm not gonna lie. especially with like the 8 directionals. 8 directions, wow. I prefer the Atari 2600. I'm not clicking on that. I prefer the Atari 2600. C. It's a C tier for me. It's basic enough. It's fine. Television. I used one of these one time. Again, stupid kid, but it's just a phone that doesn't feel good. It didn't like it, never liked it. Also, just a clear antidote, or antidote, whatever to call it. I can't even think of the word. Just to better explain something, I'm going to rank all of these even if I've never touched them. So just a fair warning that some of these never touched in my life, but I'm going to be very judgmental because why wouldn't I be? Why not? It's fun sometimes. That's a lie. Don't be judgmental. That's bad. Anyway, in television, didn't like this thing. Very bad. Very bad controller. It just, and again, I'm a stupid kid, but I will say that I do feel like it was more of me not understanding it. But looking at it specifically as an adult, I don't like that dial. I don't like that. I don't like that circle. That circle's not hitting it for me. No. D. I'll put you below that because I still want to rip that apart. There's something innate in me that just wants to tear it to pieces. ColecoVision. I'd use this as well. I like this more than the other one. It's that dial at the top, and also just looks nicer. It just pops more. I used it a little bit. Not, was it a kid? No, I wasn't. I was an adult. I remember this specifically. I like it, but it's not that great. You know what? I'll put it high D. I'll put it below the foot pedal. What are you? Vectrex? What the piss is Vectrex? Vectrex controller. I'll also put in controller. Oh, hold on. Is that what it looks like? Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's just one of the long boys that reminds me of like those computer monitors now where they're just like super long, and Amazon always tells me to buy, and I'm like, I don't want that. That just reminds me of an arcade machine, which is cool, but no, I don't. Not for me. Not for me. I like wide. But anyway, as for the controller itself, because that's what I need to judge, I kind of like the button layout. The 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of a small stick though. That part's actually kind of ruining it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'd say it's average. Yeah, we'll go with average. It's okay. It's no Magnavox Odyssey, which I'm realizing that reminds me of Space Odyssey. Okay. Anyway, Casio PV1000. Hold on. This looks kind of weird. PV1000 controller. Haha. Oh wait, hold. I don't know. First of all, that looks like a bootleg PlayStation, or maybe the PlayStation is just a bootleg Casio PV1000. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like the lines. That is not ribbed for anyone's pleasure. The color design, I'll give it credit, because there's been no real blue. It's just been, black, white, or beige, and this is the only thing that's kind of popped recently. I do also like the big red button, which it's a big red button. You want to push it. It's just something about this feels bad. I don't know. It's just I don't like it. I don't like it. That's what's drawing me back. I'll put it in C. I'll put it low C because of the color scheme. I'll actually put you above that. Clicking on things. Famicom. The Famicom is just so iconic. Like, let's be honest. This is one of the foundations for controllers for what we see now, and very good. I actually really like it. I'm gonna put it in B. I'm actually gonna put it above the Atari 2600. However, with that said, the NES controller that we got looks so good. I just love how it pops. Look at the accent around the directional pad. Like, it makes it pop. Like, you look at those colors and boom, you immediately think of this controller. It worked so well. It's so good. I just love the design of it. It's a basic controller, but the design around it really, you cannot forget it. It just, the NES Dogbone. I had one of these, and it was okay. It's just kind of a normal controller. Like, obviously, it's supposed to be the next step into the SNES or Super Nintendo, and it, the big circles and whatnot. It's just, I don't know. It is just like, it looks like a Dogbone. It's kind of, I mean, I gotta respect it because it is the NES, and I love that thing. I don't respect that. What is that? The NES Advantage? Okay. Okay, maybe there's supposed to be room to like put your palm on, but I don't know. It's just I'm not vibing with that. I don't like it. There's something weird about it. There's just something that's not connecting with me. I'm gonna put it low C. I'll put you above that because that just feels like it's gonna do something awful. Someone should put that on a registry. Super Famicom. Love this controller. Again, it is a classic. I'm going to maybe go out on a limb here and put it in the A tier. I love the colors. I love the simplicity of it. But with that said, and I like colors. I mean, I colored my hair for crying out loud. I have tattoos all over me. I love color. With that said, I do like the Super Nintendo controller better. I don't know why. It's just the purple just really sticks out to me. Like when I think of the Super Famicom, I still think of purple before I think the actual, green and whatnot. It's I don't know what it is. It's just, again, maybe it's because I played these as a kid. So nostalgia's playing a big part, but at the same time, I just love that thing. Also, it's an A tier. Those are an A tier. Those are so good. So good. They deserve the praise. Praise them. Anyway, speaking of praise, I'm not praising the Virtual Boy. That literally just looks like a Nintendo 64 mixed with the GameCube, but like the soul's been sucked out. Like, look at that. Look at that side by side. That has no soul. It's just been sucked dry completely. No. And it also reminds me of that robot from Futurama. Like the guy who like stabs people. Reminds me of that. The red buttons are kind of cool, but you're just soulless. Okay. Hot take number 1. Unless you count something else. It doesn't matter. This is my hot take. I kept controllers by me because I felt like it would be necessary. I really like the Nintendo 64 controller. I understand that it has not the best look, and let's face it, learning so many different control schemes through different games is rather annoying. Doesn't look the best. It definitely had issues with the... But with that said, I hold a lot of fond memories with this thing. I used to... I'm not supposed to do that. Someone is going to come to my house and arrest me for doing so. But I hold a lot of fond memories with this. I never use this thing. And this is a little bit of bias, but I really, really like this thing. I know the Nintendo 64 has been getting a lot of flack recently, which is understandable because it was rather a weak console, but it had a lot of games that I adore to this day. I mean, I have a Banjo-Kazooie thing over there that you can't see, but just know that it's there. He feels you. Kazooie doesn't. Kazooie doesn't feel anything. But anyway, what I'm going to do, we're just gonna keep you with me. I'm gonna go ahead and put, I'm gonna put it above the 2600. I don't think it's A tier. I will admit that. Even my biases know better, but I do really like it. GameCube. I love. Where's my controller? Nothing felt great. I love this thing also. Just the big green button. It's not even red this time, but like, okay, let me just excitement down and explain. So I really like just how it feels in your hand. And I used to play Super Smash Bros. Melee all the time, which pretty much everyone did who owned a GameCube. But the ability to have like this A button and just quickly like slide your finger and it's guided to the X or the Y felt so satisfying. And the B is smaller, but having the ability to do that and then, use a C stick if you use that for anything, which a lot of people did. I really love this thing. How do I want to explain this? When Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out, I would specifically only use GameCube controllers. But we'll get to the Wii. You're staying with me too. I don't want to do this. I'll wrap you around like this. So I love this thing. I'm also gonna put it in A tier. I'm actually gonna put it above the Super Nintendo. Maybe another hot take, but we're gonna have quite a few of those. The Wavebird. love this thing. A wireless GameCube controller, loved it. The only issue I ever had with this, and this is just my story, is I had a neighbor who also had one of these. And if you had them on the same number, there'd be like some weird frequency issue where like your controller sometimes wouldn't like do the proper inputs and it just mess up it was bad. And there's also some radio frequency sometimes, but that also depended on what you had in the house. But with that said, if you had it on the right number, this thing was golden. I'm going to put it above the original GameCube because just the ability to walk around with it, so good. Love that thing. Wii Remote. Hot take. Okay, I'm going to quit saying hot take. If I say it again, take a drink of water like this. Just open mouth and everything. Don't do that. Yeah. Anyway, I like the motion controls. The motion controls are very nice. I think it was very intuitive. And it laid a lot of groundwork for a lot of things in the future. With that said, the controller itself, I don't like. It's very generic. And with that also said, have you ever played a game with turning it to its side and just playing like that? I don't like it. I just did not like it. I played, again, this comes back to Super Smash Bros. I would play Super Smash Bros. With this thing, and it was awful. I didn't like it. Some people that are able to do it, you're great, you're wonderful, appreciate you, you great. But me, hated that thing. And there were like certain games, you're just falling off me, whatever. Certain games just didn't feel right with this thing. Motion controls, great. I respect it for that, but whenever I'm using it by itself, not too fun. I'll put it high C. I'll put it high C. With the nunchuck, a little better because you could actually, move your character with that thing. But if you didn't have that, you were whatever. We're actually going to talk about the nunchuck because that's what matters. It just made it slightly better, especially with like the Z. I'll put low B. I'll give it a little more respect because I can actually move stuff. I don't like the Wii Classic controller. I don't like this. Why is the cord at the bottom? Don't put your cord at the bottom. It's supposed to be at the top, never the bottom. Never the bottom. See, this is correct. Top. But the bottom, I don't like that. That just feels weird. And also, that's way too flat. Like, that is just... The buttons just didn't pop. It's just... Make your buttons colorful. People need to do that. People need to do that nowadays. The only person that's still doing it... Why am I saying person? Xbox isn't a person, but you get what I mean. I don't like this controller. I didn't like how it felt. It was too flat. Not a fan. I'm going to put this high... Nah, I'll put it lower C because I hate that cord. I just hate that cord. That cord upsets me so much and it's just way too flat. Did I ever have a Wii Classic Controller Pro? Hold on. Let's look at that. Wii Classic Controller Pro. Oh, I never had one of you, but I don't like how you look. That's even worse. I mean, at least the cable's at the top, but your cord, whatever. Dude, just the flatness of it kind of set me off there. I just kind of forgot what I was doing. Put me in fight or flight. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like the design of it. Make it better. It's too flat. I don't like it's too smooth. Too smooth. We're putting you in C for too smooth. I'll put you above the Wii Classic controller. Wii U gamepad. Look, I owned one. And I really like taking it off of the TV. Walking around with it, great. Love that thing. But whenever you had it hooked up to the TV, I won't lie, it was kind of clunky feeling. Like, it just felt awkward to hold. The weight of it, it didn't feel right to, like, look up at the TV while you're playing. And, like, some games, like, they were able to use it well. I think the Wind Waker... HD remake did a phenomenal job of actually having your inventory on the screen for the Wii U gamepad, but there were a lot of things with this thing that it upsets me because it had potential, but it never reached any of it. Without the TV, great, love that thing. With the TV, not so much. So with that, I'm gonna put it below the Wii remote because I'm respecting the motion controls. So it'd be how it be. Wii U Pro Controller. See, this isn't flat. This isn't smooth. It's not smooth. It's a good feel. I don't know. I just realized it is 2 analog sticks at the top. Do any of these have that? Is that the only one that has 2 at the top? That feels weird. Yeah, nothing else has two analog sticks at the top. I don't like that. I don't like that. And having the button, I don't like that. But you're not flat, so you go above that. Boom, right there. I think that's good. Joy-Con. With this thing, if you put these in, love it. Great. The buttons are a little small, not gonna lie. I have big, meaty hands, and sometimes they get sweaty depending on what I'm playing, whether that be Super Smash Bros., Metroid Prime, or Animal Crossing New Horizons, because, boy, there's been some sweaty moments in that game. But with that said, holding them without that, not too big of a fan, I'll be honest. The motion controls are kind of hit and miss as well, depending on the game. But putting them in like the plastic, if you have the plastic thing, great. If not, but it comes with the plastic. I think that's why I'm gonna kind of put it above the Wii remote. Single Joy-Con. Hate the single Joy-Con. Games that had you use only one, whether it be multiplayer or not a fan. Not a fan at all. Hated it. Especially Mario Party. Mario Party, you know how many times... Do you know how many times it wasn't just luck-based, but also finger-based? All the time. And actually, that's every Mario Party now that I think about it. But hear me out. Hear me out. You're playing Mario Party, and it has like this input. You have big, meaty thumbs, and you go to push one thing, but you push 2 at the same time, or you accidentally push the X or the A when you're supposed to do a different one. You know how many times that's happened to me? Too many. This controller has lost me Mario Party games, and I will never forgive it. This is the one that took my family, isn't it? I don't hate it, though. I don't hate it. I'll put you below the Wii U gamepad. Actually, right there. Because the Wii U gamepad, you can play games on it. You can't play games on the single Joy-Con. You can't do that. Trust me. Doesn't have the room. Switch Pro Controller. I like this. There's different versions of this. I really miss the colored buttons. Please do more of that. But it feels... Oh gosh, please don't turn on. Didn't turn on. Did it? No. Great. Like, it feels fine. It's pretty... I don't want to... Boring, I guess. It's a fine controller. It works. It does what it's supposed to. Just I would prefer to use... Like, if I had to pick this or any of the other newer controllers, this would be the last one that I touch. But with that said, I really do think it's a good controller. I'll give it... I'll put it... I'm going to respect the Famicom. And I'm going to put the Switch Pro Controller there. What the heck is that? What? Hold on, honey. Honey. Turbo G. Well, I misspelled that. Hold on. Am I... Yeah, it's the graphics. Why I say graphics 16 controller? Let me see that a little more in person. No, absolutely not. No, not for me. Not for anyone. You don't look fun. I'm gonna put you. Yeah, I don't want to tear you apart like the Pop-Tart. You're better than the phone. Actually, I'm gonna. You know what? You go up, Mr. Toaster. Neo Geo AES. Let me see what this one looks like. Neo Geo AES. That's what I'm gonna sing today. AES. I just sang it and I forgot it. Ooh, hold on. Okay, actually, I like that curve. I really like that curve. That, and you. Ooh, you know what? The placement. Kind of really liking this, but I really like the indentation around the joystick. Actually pleasantly surprised by this one. I'm not gonna lie. Never used one, but kind kind of, you know what? I kind of respect it. Put you right there because I really do not like that cord. That cord's bad. Neo Geo Advance? Oh, that's the same thing. The same curve, but smaller. No, you had room for activities and you took it away. That doesn't feel the same. You kind of ruined it. You ruined it. You had something great and then you were like, well, what if we made it smaller? The whole point is to rest your hand somewhere. Maybe it feels good with... No, it doesn't because it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it would work there. It doesn't. Oh, you were so close. I'll put you there. I still kind of respect the curve. I don't know why. It's just also the 2 big red buttons. Good. Neo Geo CD. I do not like the lines. I don't like that. It makes me feel like I'm turning on an oven. But the colors are cool. Kinda. It's kind of. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'll put you right there. Kind of. There's something about you that I kind of respect, but also I don't. It's just it's there. It's there. It's an okay time. Philips CDI. This is just a remote. I don't. No, you're just a remote. I'm gonna put you above the telephone though, because you look a little better. It's just. What is that? Philips CDI spoon? What? That looks like that should be in war or something like that. That should be in someone's medical tent. No, absolutely not. You're not a controller. You're supposed to help save people. There's something I don't like that. Philips CDI 3-button. No, that's just a generic Sega controller. The Sega Genesis. No, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. And also that indentation. No, absolutely not. You'll go. I don't want to tear you apart like I want to tear that apart, but I just don't like you. Philips CDI touchpad. There's something about that design, I'm not gonna lie. The silhouette, like the little half circle up and the half circle down, I like that. I kinda like that. But you don't have pretty buttons. And we like pretty buttons around here. There's something about you that I kinda respect. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna put you right there, because there's also something about that Magnavox Odyssey too that I really like. PlayStation controller. I started off with this one with my PlayStation journey, as many people in the 90s did, and I liked it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I'm gonna give this a. Do I want to give it the A? Do I want to give it an A or a high B? I'll give it. I think high B. It is kind of simple, but I really liked it. Again, buttons, colorful, great. But with the dual analog, that really skyrocketed the PlayStation, in my opinion. The first time I ever used this was with Ape Escape, and it took me a little bit to get used to, because I really didn't think this was going to be a good idea. But again, I was a dumb kid, and dumb kids are dumb. But the dual analog worked so well with Ape Escape that it really opened my eyes to what gaming could be, and this controller was so revolutionary in my opinion. I could be wrong. Could be. But I'm going to give this... do I put it above the GameCube? Right there. And DualShock, you move things. DualShock 2. For the PlayStation 2. Whoa, no, I'm not touching you. You say where you are. S tier. This is one of my favorite controllers of all time. It just felt so right to hold on to. It was like the perfect weight, the perfect button layout. It just felt so good. So good. And I know like it's just a little different than the PlayStation 1, but it just felt better. Trust me. If you had one in your hand, you'd be like, you know what, Wolf Chaos Sound, you're right. And because of that, I'm going to like and subscribe. I should have said that earlier. I'm stupid. But that's S tier. DualShock 3. I like it. It's kind of just a wireless DualShock 2 with a middle button. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of didn't like it as much. It just felt very the same outside of, it's wireless. And that it doesn't hit that for me. DualShock 4. I don't like the touchpad. I do not like it. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. However, I do really like the motion controls that I had. The one game that I can specifically think of is Until Dawn, because there was a point in the game where I was 6 minutes away from saving everybody, and it said don't move your controller, and I had to sneeze, and I was holding it like this, and then my dog came over and bumped into me, and then I dropped the controller, and then I watched 2 people I really like die. Hi B, I'll put you below GameCube. PSVR, I'm gonna be honest, when I look at this, I just want to bite it and just rip it off. Just, the buttons are okay. From what I remember, because I didn't really play too many PlayStation Move controllers. Didn't play many PlayStation Move games. I didn't play too many of them. It was okay. Like, some worked, some didn't. It's just, the controllers, again, the top part, I just want to bite into and rip off. But other than that, no. Yeah, I'll put you there. You're fine. You're fine there. Actually, I don't respect this thing. I don't respect the Wii Classic controller. PlayStation 5 DualSense. I'm going to be honest, when I first got my PlayStation 5 and I grabbed this thing, I was like, oh, this feels rather big and clunky. And it took me a while to get used to, but once I really did, this is actually one of my favorite controllers. I really like it. I like how it feels. It feels big enough for me to actually hold with my big meaty hands that would destroy the single Joy-Con of the Nintendo Switch. Bad joke. Anyway, the one thing that I wish these things had was color on the buttons. You had it on every other controller, and then you took it away for this one? Why? Why would you do that? And I do kind of like that they went for, the white approach rather than, going with the same color scheme. But I want the colored buttons. I want them. And also, I've had like 2 of these controllers with stick shift, and that's kind of a big bummer. This one has not had one, and I really like this one. It's also my brand color, so I like that. I was going to kiss it, but no. So, because of all the stupid stick shifts I keep getting, stick drifts I get, it's going to A. To be higher. I haven't touched a DualSense Edge. They look cool. They look neat. Don't get me wrong. But I haven't touched it. So you're lower. Just out of respect for that. PSVR 2. It's okay. I played a little bit of it. It's just a PlayStation VR headset. Nothing really special to talk about. What are you? Fujitsu FM Towns Morty? What are you? What are you? I'm not even spell it. What are that's just a PlayStation 3. That just looks like a PlayStation 3. And that controller, I don't like that controller. That controller reminds me of the Space Invaders, those aliens, and I don't like that. Nope. Not in this household. You're going there, actually. I respect the Philips CDI spoon more than you. Amiga CD32 is weird. As I'm looking at it, I just kind of want to grab it, and that's nice. I like that. But the rest of it, no. I don't like that curve. No, I'm not vibing with it. You see, there's 2 opposite curves. Just every time I look at that Atari 7800, I just want to. It's just an innate urge. See, this is how I know that I shouldn't be allowed near that thing, because it was just. Maybe this is why my dad didn't give us one. He just saw it in my eyes. He's like, if I get that, he's gonna think it's a Pop-Tart. He's just gonna rip it to shreds. Anyway, Panasonic 3DO. I have a lot of opinions about the Panasonic 3DO. I just thought of like a bunch of FMV games. But with that said, the controller is okay. It's just kind of there. I don't really remember having many problems with it, but also I didn't really own one. I would just go over some family member's house and play it every now and then. And did I actually play it? I don't know, but we'll get to that story later. Casio Sloppy. This is loopy, not sloppy. Casio Loopy. Kind of like the color design, but I don't know how I feel about that curve, because you left so much room. You left so much room in that little circle right there, and I don't like that. It's just, why have the curve there? Why have that spot there if you're not going to fill it up? I don't like that. Put the buttons in better places. But I do like the color design. So for that, you're going there. I don't want to tear you apart like the Pop-Tart, but Bandai Apple Pippin. This is not Lord of the Rings. I do like the colors, but that's just a boomerang. It's just a boomerang. No, I'm not a fan of you. Not a fan of you. Put you right there though, because your name's Pippin and I like Pippin. Sega SG-1000 looks very similar to the 7800, outside of one of them having that, you know, that little ramp that makes me think of a car pedal. I'm not vibing with it too much. I do like the big red button on the side though. I like that, but it's on the left side, not the right. No. Sega Master System. This really looks like a NES controller. I'm gonna put you right there, because I still kind of like the design. Sega Genesis controller. I loved this as a kid. Doesn't feel as great now, I'll be honest, but I loved this as a kid. My dad used to give me this thing, and what he would do is he would actually, he'd say like, you know, hey, let's play, you know, Top Golf or whatever kind of golf it was, or let's do Mortal Kombat. And what he would do, instead of plugging my controller in to the Sega, he would put it underneath it. So I'm just sitting there in front of the Sega Genesis, in front of the TV, like, oh, cool, I'm doing something. And I didn't do anything. And I caught on one time because I'm like, oh, you said it's going to be my turn for golf. But you've done it like 4 times. And I didn't get one? Wrong. Math's not mathin'. Wrong. Incorrect. And then my childhood died that day. But with that said, I have a lot of strong affinity towards this controller. This one and the 6-button one. I'm actually going to put it in the... well, I'm going to put it in the B tier. I really liked it. It doesn't feel as great now, but I don't know. It's just, there's something in me that really, really liked it. Sega Saturn. Didn't own one. I'm not sure how I feel about the controller. It's not meshing with me. No. I'll put you right there. And the Japanese version looks prettier, I'll give you that, but I'll put you there. Actually, no, we'll put you right there. Yeah, that feels good. What is that? What is the 3D controller? That looks like an abandoned mascot for a video game. Like, look at that. Look at that silhouette. You could make that into some kind of cute creature that you try to sell off for hundreds of dollars. I don't like this. I don't like the button layout. I don't like how it... No, I'm not a fan. I am not a fan. But I respect it more than the boomerang right there. Sega Dreamcast controller is bad. I do like the middle part. The middle part, you know, where you can actually put that video thingy in. Really like it. But I don't really have too much experience with this controller personally. I only played it one time. It was because my friend wanted to show me Seaman. You know the game. But I did not like how this felt. I do not like that the cord's at the bottom of it. But that video card, really neat. Because I heard you could do a lot of cool things in like Skies of Arcadia, which is a game I really want to play one day. But I heard, and especially with the Chow Garden, that thing apparently really cool too. So I have to include it in this decision. So I'm making it low D. I hate how this thing looks. It looks like a manta ray. Steam controller. Never touched one, but I've heard so many good things about this. People have sworn by this controller. And I want to know why, because I keep seeing it's like right here, that little circle above the buttons. What's that for? Because obviously over here, you know, you can move, I guess, the mouse and stuff, but what's that for? Is it for other controls? Am I able to, you know, move that up there? I don't know. There's so much mystique with this. I never used it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But because I haven't used it, I can't put it super high. I'll put it low A out of respect from what everyone has told me. I haven't used it. Low A. Oh yeah, I forgot that this thing existed. So did probably everybody. I don't like the controller. Bad. I don't respect you. Google Stadia. I like the accents around the analog sticks. It pops. It's minimalistic. And I like it because the accents make it pop a little more. It definitely shines brighter than all the other generic looking controllers. So I kind of like this a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'll put it right there. While I don't want to bite anything off of you, it's just, I don't know, that orange does something for me. I really like orange. Zebo, what the piss are you? That just looks like the smooth Wii controller, but you have the cord correctly. But you just, no, I don't. No, there's something about you I don't respect. I don't respect you. What is this? No, I'm not even gonna talk about you. I'll put you a little higher. What the piss is this? A boomerang? A boomerang controller. No, piss off. You go there. You stay there. Atari VCS. I'm sorry, I'm mad. What the piss? Why? Who made that? Why? What made you think? Look at that. Who? Just who? I want to know who. I want to talk to you face to face and just know why. Atari VCS. This came out, I think, in 2020, 21. I remember hearing about it. I haven't used it myself yet, but I've heard about it. I kind of like the design of it. I definitely like the outlines of the red, and I do like that red button. Red buttons do it for me. It's kind of just something about it. Something about it I respect. I'll put you below the Stadia because I like the orange a little better. Evercade VS, that, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of looks like a little game inside there. That's not too bad. I don't, hold on, I don't like that the start and select are on that side. You are too close to the directional pad. No, that kind of ruined it a little bit for me, because you know how many times like I'll go too much to the right. I don't want to accidentally pause the game. No. Nope. I'll put you above the soulless. Speaking of soulless, the Xbox Duke. I never owned an Xbox, but my uncle did. So just hear me out. I don't like this thing. When I would play Fable, it just didn't feel right. First of all, when I look at this controller, I immediately think of the big logo in the middle, which I understand it's your brand, but like it would just stare at me. Like I felt Microsoft staring into my soul. Bill Gates saw what I saw, and that's not good. The black and white buttons just never worked for some reason. It's like no matter what game I played and it asked me to use them, typically it wouldn't work. Also, they just, I don't know, the buttons just didn't feel great. They often got stuck for me. And maybe, you know, that might have been my uncle not taking care of it. Wish if you're watching this, sorry. But anyway, didn't like this controller. It's one of my least favorite controllers. This was just a bad time. And the Xbox Controller S, it looks a little better, but I don't like just those buttons down there. Just make it look icky. I'll put you above the Dreamcast because of that. But how we started this video was me talking about the 2600, the Atari 2600, how it was the foundation you're supposed to grow off of that, which Atari messed up with the 5200. However, Xbox improved so much. This is, I think, one of the best controllers out there, period. It's so light. The button layout feels great. It's very responsive. I've had no issues with any of the controllers I've ever had. And it has, guess what? Buttons that are colorful. So already a good start there. It just feels so good. I still have a few around me. I've only owned one Xbox 360 my whole entire life, and I'm gonna be honest, I still use the 360 controllers for pretty much gaming sometimes. Well, actually, no, I lied. I don't, because you know what I use? We're gonna skip the Kinect because Kinect's awful. I use the Xbox One. I just had a brain fart there. I haven't slept yet. Yell at me to wake up. Thank you. But the Xbox One, I love this controller. This is what I use for all of my PC gaming. If anything supports controller, I grab that thing, use it for everything. Plug it into my computer if I need to, use Bluetooth, whatever I need to make this thing work, I make it work because it's so good. It's so good. It's too far away from me. I'd go grab it, but like, no, I can't. You're resting, and I'll let you rest. But this controller, so good. Feels light. It is pretty much an improvement of the 360 in every way, shape, and form. Love that thing. What I don't love is the Xbox 360 Kinect. I've owned 3 games for that thing. 3 games. 1 was that sports game that Rare worked on. 2 was Kinect Animals. And 3 was that Dragon Ball game. I'm not one who throws controllers. I don't see a point in doing that. I've never been that enraged by a game. But I will tell you, after playing that Dragon Ball game, I understood where they came from. If that was a controller, or cheaper, I might have thrown it. Granted, I was also a teenager, and teenagers just like to throw things and set things on fire like themselves in the middle of a mall. But did not want to deal with this controller anymore. I was a little muffled there, but I did not like this thing. And I hated this thing. You're going in F tier. I respect you less than the Duke. Xbox One Kinect. Never used. Heard it's better, but bad taste in my mouth. I'll just low C. I don't know. Xbox One Elite. I have not touched one, but I mean, it's an Xbox One controller. It's already an S tier. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I'll put it below the DualSense because the DualSense I really like, but also I haven't used the Xbox One Elite. This one looks smaller. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you there. Yeah, that feels right to me. That feels right. Xbox Series X/S. Never touched one, but I mean, it kind of looks very similar to the Xbox One. I don't know. I haven't touched it, but I'm just gonna assume that it's great. So I'm gonna put you right there, because let's face it, Xbox has been giving out the best controllers recently. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Gonna leave it there. Yeah, you know what? You'll stay there. No, I have to mix it up a little bit. It just felt right. Just felt right. I don't know why. It could be wrong, but this is my opinion. And my opinion is, I feel right about that. That's a weird opinion. NES Max. This is also just looking like the Space Invader alien. But I do like the buttons because it kind of looks like a kooky alien. You know what? I talked myself up in this. But I don't like it too much. I don't want to rip you apart. You're not a Pop-Tart. Hold on. I think this is a controller I owned. I think this is the one that we owned, because I remember those little lines over there. We had more buttons. We had Okay, I guess it's the Atari Pro Controller, not a fan. Hate you. This is just an abomination. This is disgusting. Why do you exist? Sorry. PS2 iToy. Had one of these, didn't work out too well. It just, anytime I tried to use it, I had issues. It's a camera. I respect you more than the remote. And that. But not more than the spoon. The spoon's better than you. I don't know why. That spoon has saved a life. You have not, PS2 iToy. You have not. Not yet. Atari 2600 paddle controller. This, kind of like the dial, I'm not gonna lie. But, the button on the side right there, it's just, I don't know. I do like big red buttons, but like the whole point of holding it, no, I'm not, no, I don't like the dial. You ruined it for me. You're there. Atari 5200 trackball controller. What? Excuse me, what? You know, we'll come back to that. Atari 5200 trackball controller. What do you look like? Because you're the last thing I'm looking at. You look disgusting. This is just a typewriter. Dude, am I supposed to roll that ball? Is that supposed to be... Actually, that's kind of neat if you... But I don't know. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's the Atari 5200. You've hurt me too many times. I'm not believing in you again. I'm not believing in you. I'll put you there. Okay, let me go over this, make sure everything's good. Top 3, I think that's correct. A, correct. B for banging. Imagine the Power Glove in there somewhere, because it should be. I probably put it above the Atari 2600. No, I put it above the NES Dogbone. Yeah, that feels like a good spot. C looks good. D looks good. F. Don't want to fix anything in F. And here's my tier list. If I missed any controllers, let me know, because, look, there's a lot here, but things go over my head. I mean, I didn't expect there to be a boomerang controller twice. Why is it there twice? Why are there 2 of them? I just realized that. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. And also, you one controller who took away my family. I know who you are.